Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brian.
And I'm Julia Charles.
I'm Jess. Good grief. Between you and your introductions and you and your cutaway things, I can't keep you guys straight.
I'm Julia Charles. And Brian's like, what'd you say? I was like, I'm Julia Charles.
We do veer off on cooking quite a bit.
Last episode was like a cooking episode.
It really was. It was.
This is because I was not here.
We lost 20 listeners.
It just keeps us on track. Come on along, everybody. Spend the next hour or so with us talking about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bike packing, bike camping. We're going to talk about entry-level
Trees.
gravel bikes tonight, or just plain bikes. Now, entry-level does not mean cheapest. That's the key thing here. It's entry-level, meaning you're going to get a good quality bike to walk away with. So we'll talk more about that later.
Right away with.
Or ride away. I do that. You correct me with that a lot. I need
You
to
can
start
ride
using
away or
that.
you can cut away.
Yeah. But you know what's not cheap?
That was an easy segue. Like, I could have called that one coming. So
The Cutaway USA cycling apparel that was born in the Blue Ridge. Cutaway is an industry-leading provider of cycling apparel using innovative fabrics combined with clean, bold designs. Make sure to visit their website at cutawayyusa.com to check everything out. When you reach the checkout, because you know you will, use the code GTD, now all caps, GTD2020 to take 20% off your entire order. And that is a special offer that is just for our listeners. How can Philip be affording to do that? I'm afraid that Philip's going to go out of business by offering all of these GTD listeners 20% off.
I have no idea.
Let's just keep it going, though.
Yep.
I hope he knows we're still doing it. If you try to use the GTD20 discount code and it doesn't work, please let us know.
Oh, it still works. I just talked to Philip.
Did you? Okay. All right. What are you guys drinking today?
The Kentucky Mule, because it's my drink of choice now from now on.
That
forever.
is you're. I'm gonna stop asking.
I'm on a kick on that.
I'm just gonna assume that the Kentucky Kick is the.
I don't
thing.
know what it is. Like last week, a couple nights, I just had ginger beer and lime, like a lot of lime. I love lime and ice. And I don't know if it's a little bit of carbonation from the ginger beer.
Yeah.
Like I love an old fashioned, but my Kentucky Mule is now my new favorite.
Can I be honest with you? Old fashioned is not my favorite drink.
I will not drink Moscow Mules anymore.
When was the last time you had a Moscow Mule?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. Why will you not drink them anymore? Oh, you have bad experience.
I like I kind of like the makers in it. That's what
Okay.
makes it Moscow versus Kentucky.
Okay.
Also, vodka hits me really hard.
Vodka,
I get I don't know if this is politically correct, but I can get pretty white girl wasted on vodka.
Huh?
Like with Wes used to make some really powerful Moscow Mules.
is that how you take advantage of Joey?
with his Moscow mules.
I don't drink. The last time I think I've drinking heavy was with Wes.
Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years.
It's been a long time since I've drank heavy.
But his last going away party, we had some pretty potent Moscow Mules. The vodka just hits
Which one?
totally
The first going away party or the second
Second
going
or
away?
the third going away party.
the one that we went to Taco Bell like at 2 a.m.
yeah.
The
like
ones that
40
are
times.
always the best are the coming back parties when
Yeah,
Wes decides
those
to
are
come
when
home.
Wes
Yeah.
decides to come back.
No, I like the little bit of makers in that,
Mhm.
but I really love I'd put a lot of lime juice in there.
Oh, we should have cracked open one of those beers that Dave sent.
I had one the other night.
That's good? Yeah?
Yeah, I have not been on a beer thing in a long time.
I haven't either.
I'm still on the alcohol kick. But
what flavor of seltzer do you have, my dear?
I have the grapefruit seltzer.
Yes,
that's
and
actually
I
pretty
have
good.
black
Joey
cherry.
was like, "Oh, I hate the grapefruit seltzer," and then he had it the other day. He's like, "This isn't bad." I was like, "Joey, it just all tastes the same. Like,
It is all the same stuff.
it's all the same stuff."
Cranberry lime.
Cranberry
It's
lime.
the best.
Yeah,
In my
I like the
personal
black cherry.
opinion.
When I buy it at the house, it's a black cherry.
Yeah.
But
We buy it in the variety packs from BJ's. 'Cause
Whatever
it's way more
floats your
cost
boat.
effective.
so for all of us, Croatan is closing in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Jess
Yeah,
and I will be adventuring on the bike. Joey is going to be talking into a can. I'm very excited about it.
What if
I'm
he actually
ready.
gives me a can in the corner? Go over there and go talk.
What if he puts you in a red jumpsuit and you just think he's like got headphones on you and it's just the mic is piped into
I'm out
the
there directing
headphones?
traffic.
You're just over there talking to yourself.
We're like the guys on dodgeball.
Oh, that would be funny. I'm really ready for Croatan. Not in a physical or mental state, but just sort of like in a I'm ready for an event. I mean, I don't know. It's just been a long winter.
It's an event every day when I wake up and, get a rolling with my day. It's an event every day.
So long weekend for Ted, Larry, and myself.
Yeah, I have
That's-
no one to stay with.
That's very exciting. Well, you could always just come to the campground.
Marcus has a campsite. I'm going to sleep at the Speedway.
Why don't you, we're going to stay at the Speedway Wednesday night, and then we're going to stay at the campground Thursday night,
I have a job.
and then we'll be
I'm not
back.
coming
We're
till
going to be
Friday.
back at the campground Friday night. So
Yeah,
we're
I'll be
going to
there
be
with you guys Friday night.
Yeah, I'll be there together Friday
I'll
night.
bring a lot of Kentucky mules.
Okay, for Saturday night.
I'm not riding the next day. I'll drink.
That's true. We can get you all kind of liquored up.
No, okay.
I'm hoping our place has a bathroom.
You have
I'm sure your place will have a bathroom. I'm sure your place will have a bathroom.
I'm very hopeful it has a bathroom. I'm very hopeful it has bathrooms.
It could have a
and
bathroom. Whether you use it or not is your choice.
Do you know what we're going to be using at Speedway? Porter potties.
Ew, seriously?
I'm sure there'll be
I've never
porta-
heard of, what is the Speedway?
The Speedway is where everything. Carteret Speedway is where the
Cars drive around.
cars drive around in circles,
Oh.
but it's also where the event kicks off.
Oh, okay.
It's at a Speedway.
Okay.
And so we're.
I thought it was
camping
like
in
a
the
brand
infield.
of hotels.
No.
Okay.
'Cause
Gas
there's-
station
there's-
too.
Yeah, there's gas stations too. So that could be a very common thing. We should
Okay.
clarify that. The Speedway is where
The
the
Speedwagon.
location where all of the things are taking off and happening from, where all the activity, the hub of activity,
Hobo.
Mm.
where you'll be able to hear. Now, do you have Friday night MC duties as well?
I don't know. I'm actually going to call Matt tomorrow. I feel like I should have gone down there. Maybe I'll go down tomorrow for a day. No, I'm just-
Go down for a day?
I should go down before, but I only have like 2 weekends before that.
Okay.
I'll talk to Matt tomorrow.
Okay. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I thought there was a volunteer meetup that you were supposed to do
I missed
too.
it because of work.
No. It's okay. I am excited about long weekend though. It's very hush hush. It's very hush hush. The routes aren't available until like you almost get there. So
What are you gonna do? Mentally prepare yourself for where you're gonna turn left?
no, I don't know. I just
That was a NASCAR.
that was a
right?
NASCAR turn left, turn
It was
left.
actually a palindrome one too, but
Velodrome.
whatever. It's the same thing,
It's not.
isn't it?
Races go around in
Right.
circles.
2442 is a palindrome.
Okay. You guys rode this week, didn't you?
We
You guys
did. We
were on
went
your bike?
to Maryland Ave and back.
Hey, it's on
I
your bike.
ride my bike once. Yes, what I wrote down. I rode my bike.
I had multiple people texting me and say, "Please wait for Joey behind us." So,
Huh? I don't know.
Miss Chewy texted me and said, "Your husband's way back there."
Oh, thank you.
Oh, was somebody you passed on the ride? Texted
So,
you on the ride?
We did not ride together this weekend. Jess rode about 4 miles ahead of me, and I rode.
But you got it. We're in two different parts of our training, right? Like,
No. We could have rode together, but I won't. No, we could just rode together.
I don't know. I'm staying out.
Celine
of the middle
doesn't
of this.
always leave Dave. They ride together sometimes.
I don't know. I ride by myself. So
Me too.
now, Jess, you have got some very exciting news to share.
Is it my teacher of the year next week?
Well, no, that's when we
Oh.
find out all the other teachers lost
No.
and you won is next week. We'll bring that all down. But you've got some very exciting news. Yes.
Oh yes, the new bike is upon me.
Yeah, that's right.
Joey had that written in the show notes, and he was like, turned his laptop, and he was like, "Please talk about your new bike." So yeah, it was actually a really funny story. I had kids in my classroom, and Joey texted me, and it comes through my laptop because I have a MacBook, and he said, "This is a non-emergency. This is a non-emergency because it's really hard. I don't get service in my classroom, but I do when I have my laptop." So pardon. He texted me and said this was not an emergency. And he said your new bike came in, and then I think he called me if I'm not correct with that.
Who's more?
I think I was more excited.
It's like who's more excited about Jess's new bike, Jess or Joey?
Joey. But I'm very excited.
He's excited for his lady. Is
yes,
what it
he's
is.
very excited.
That's what it is.
And the
Because
cool
the last
part
new
is,
bike got me in trouble.
yes. I mean, we haven't had a new bike day since you did
For
the
you
math
or me?
today. No, me. You do get a new bike day every week.
Your Diverge was
2017.
your new Diverge was your new bike.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
yeah.
last new bike. So
That was the fake wedding proposal too.
yes. No, it was actually the Salsa Storm Chaser was the fake wedding proposal.
No, the Diverge. Oh, I forgot about your Storm Chaser.
I had a Storm Chaser, but
Okay, so that was
burned up in the
2020.
it burnt up in the fire. But that's
Burn
okay.
fire.
Yeah, that was 2020.
So yeah, I had a new bike day in 2020, so it's exciting.
Now those were limited production. Did you guys let Salsa know that they're down one?
I
don't-
did. I actually emailed them both on their contact us on their website and their Instagram page, and I said I had a bike, but it burnt in the fire, so now you only have 199, and they didn't respond back. So I'm just assuming that somebody saw it and somebody thought that was the most hilarious thing they've ever seen.
Well, how did you word it?
Exactly as I just said it.
Was it condescending or like, oh, maybe I want a new bike?
No, it was like my husband's shop burnt up and my bike was in it, and
Yeah.
I just don't think they cared.
Fires happen.
Fires happen.
Fires
That
happen.
was-
We're all over it.
We are all over
We
the
all
fire.
lost things.
We all lost things.
I think the Cruxes are more limited production than the Storm Chasers.
That's probably right.
So the kids were all doing their work, and Joey called, and I was in the back of my classroom, and I only had like 3 or 4 kids in my classroom because it's like the lunch is, and I was like, okay, thanks, Joey. Okay, love you. Okay, bye. I'm really glad. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye. And I said, let's look up how much this bike costs, kids.
Oh, boy.
And I pulled it up, and I'm like, I called Joey back. I was like, do you know how much we paid for that bike?
So I get a employee purchase through Specialized. So
Which I get. I just wasn't thinking at the time, and I really just pulled up the
there
bike.
goes our countertops.
So yeah, and I was like, oh my God.
You just pulled up the retail.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's some
So-
sticker shock there. Well, now you know like what the value is, and you know it's a now which tell us about the bike. What's the
Yeah,
component?
Jessica,
groups?
tell us about your bike.
Well, it's a little bit of beige, and then it goes into green, and then
Nice,
it
that's
has
good.
a little
Important.
R2D shifter, so it goes.
That's actually really all you need to know,
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. It has
Because
little shifters.
If you know the color, then you can identify it as your bike.
Exactly.
And then you know the,
the
little
sound
little
makes
shifty
R2D2
bits.
sounds.
So
Yeah.
it's a 1x setup.
No,
You're probably the only one at Croatan, at least of like that. There'll be other.
I don't know
There might
if
be a
it's a
few other
1x.
Cruxes, but so it's
I'm gonna
just-
put
it's,
streamers on it just in
it's-
case I
no.
lose mine at the like stopping
it's the
ground.
Crux
and stuff.
Expert.
Uh-huh.
So it comes with the Revolterra C's. It has Rival Axis 1x on it.
So it is a 1x.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it need new tires.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was putting some different Pathfinders on there.
Okay.
I'm ordering a lot of Pathfinders. Yours, hers, Lori's,
Yeah, I need to get
me
mine.
a set.
I need to get mine set up so I can actually get back on that bike.
The let's see. Yeah, sorry. So it's running the it's running 1050 Rival, but it has the what is it? A GX rear derailleur. So it's the mountain rear derailleur.
Sweet, right?
It's a beautiful frame. No, sorry, it's the new Force or crap. It's the new Explorer group set. I'm all screwed up. Sorry.
The Shimano Explorer?
No. The
Tram Explorer.
XPLR Explorer.
Okay.
The Rival Explorer derailleur.
Okay.
So it'll have that. It's running a 1044 with a 40 up front. Terra C's is pretty solid wheels, so she's actually going to have her other wheels with some Roubaix tires and then her gravel tires. Because this thing's like an Athos on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a really nice road bike for her too.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. That's about all you really have to.
Well, I know that
put
the
her
1x
Mimic
thing
saddle on it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, she's pretty good to go. Already comes with Supercaz. Already comes with Pathfinders. Stuff like that. So it's like ready to go out of the box.
Nice.
I mean, for the price, I would hope it's ready out of the box.
You're going to be excited.
I'm very excited. It's like that.
Have you
color,
seen it,
though.
Brian?
I don't think I've seen it. I mean, I've seen... God, that's pretty. It's like the tan with the green.
It's got stripes and polka dots and
there's a little orange on the back, right?
yeah, it's a little peachy.
That is really a sweet looking ride.
I was actually looking for handlebar tape that matched that, but it comes with black Supergas, specialized.
Yeah. When you change it, that'd be.
Well, it doesn't come with the tape on. That's why I figured it.
Oh,
because I would keep the black for something else.
Gotcha.
But we'll run it like that. We'll put some gumball Pathfinders on there and call it a day.
And how long until that's
it's probably here next week.
nice?
The
So
earliest.
you'll get some time on it before Croatan.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
couple weeks.
That's the key is to get some time on it
Yeah.
before Croatan. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, she's only ridden her Diverge outside twice, so she's.
It's been cold.
Well, no, her legs will be there. We'll do a couple rides to get adapted to the fit, but.
And the shifty bits.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's as simple as you can get without going single speed.
Yep.
One size up, one size down, no front derailleur.
The first time we rode outside last week with Emma and Chris, I was a little bit sore the next day because of where my Peloton sits, how much more upright my Peloton sits than my actual bike. So there was definitely some stabilizer hip muscles that were just a lot sore. Not a lot sore. It's not like I was like, oh my God, my hips are sore. Just something I can notice. Like I definitely noticed my hips were sore. And we had a professional development where we sat in little kids' chairs all day. So I was like, I got up and I was like, oh my goodness.
Sitting in a little kid's chair all day.
Yeah, I said, my bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was just, you're sitting on a hard surface and I already had some hip pains and not pain, like I was throbbing, like I needed to put something on it, but it was noticeable. It was noticeable where I was sitting from my Peloton versus my bike.
You're gonna have a really interesting perspective after Croatan. The all the training being done on the Peloton and then the shifting to the outside.
Yeah.
I'm shifty bits.
I'd be curious to see. It's going to be an interesting conversation, an interesting perspective that you're going to be able.
And we'll see. Blake is getting me up earlier, so I'm not riding my bike in the morning as much. So because he just won't settle down enough for one of us to go back to sleep. So Joey sleeps in the morning and I take Blake out for a run/walk. So there's always things changing, right? So it's never going to be a solid, always perfect, always as you need training. It's going to be different. You're going to have to adapt to it. So getting Blake has been a new adaptation in our schedules. So we're just working through it as best we can right now.
You're rolling 100 at Croatan, right?
We're going to see.
Okay.
We're going to see. Everybody in my group, my ladies' ride, has transferred to the 50.
So I don't know if you've noticed, but if you look at the routes, the 100 is a 60 that comes back to the speedway, and then you go back out for another 40.
Yeah.
So that's a really good break point if you decide.
Yeah,
But I think the 50 is a whole different route.
So I'll probably do the 100, the first 60 then, if you're going to say it like that. I'll do the first 60.
And then go from there.
And then we'll plan it by ear. I mean,
Perfect.
it's just a brainstorm.
Perfect.
It's just a brainstorm.
Just a brainstorm. I mean, that's the thing we preach about here is doing the event and not doing the miles. So if you're not training for
rides
the miles,
over races.
Rides over races. I mean, I got a lot of feedback back from the Clydesdale Athena thing. A lot of people reached out on social media.
We upset a lot of men, is what we did.
I think that's what happened. It's what we're not. I don't want to revisit all of that, but we got a lot of comments.
I got no sympathy.
Got
this
a lot
is
of
gravel.
comments.
This ain't racing. This is
Men
fun.
that want their Clydesdale division
Yes.
so they can stand on a podium. That's honestly, I think, what the feedback was.
Anyway,
but we'll let it go at that.
all right, we're getting audited.
Strava.
No, just kidding. Strava. All right, we have.
Thank you for that. I'm very excited to see your experience when you come out of
Yes.
that.
Let's see our experience sleeping the whole time in the tents. Especially you guys. Rob Wheeler from Columbus, Ohio. That's where my family's from. With 141.3. KG
Rob.
Rides from Santiva. Oh, I got new glasses. Santiva, Florida with 203.3. And Chris Nessler from Bethesda, Maryland with 127.4.
Good job.
To break into the top 100 with our small little heat wave, 115.6.
Slowly creeping up.
No one wants to see Creepy Brian with a creepy mustache, so we're
Nope.
808.
Not even on a filter.
That's a palindrome. Strava.com
mustache?
/clubs/gravel travel dirt. 808.
808.
Oh.
808.
I got it.
Okay. All right. Entry-level gravel bikes. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what the people want to hear about. And Joey, you're going to be able to provide a unique perspective from mechanics. Jess, you're going to be able to provide.
I'm no longer a mechanic. I was trying to do something. My carpal tunnel in my hand was acting up today. My wrist locked up.
Are you done with that?
I can't work on. No, I work on a lot of bikes still. But my wrist hole locked up completely today. It hurt.
Well, before we dive,
Are we okay with that?
Oh yeah, we're all fine. We're good.
I don't know.
Okay.
So before we dive into specific bikes, because I do have a long list of specific bikes to talk about, I want to talk about the different steps and things that maybe you want to think about ahead of time. Before you even begin to look at a bike, there's some things that you sort of like need to get a handle on. And the first one being frame material. Aluminum, steel, or carbon. But the problem with an entry level, we kind of tease this, entry level, as we're going to discuss it tonight, is not the cheapest, lowest price point bike in the lineup. It's going to be a $1,500 to $2,200 purchase.
Frames that.
And it's going to be sort of like that level that's going to put you out on an event, to ride an event, comfortable performance. It's not going to like go out and race. It's not an $8,000 bike, but it's also not going to crap out on you on the first or second hill, or you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, some people may actually call it mid-level, but
I rode my $200 Tricross last weekend with 2003 shifters and cantilevers, and it was okay.
Well, any bike is a gravel bike. We've said
now,
that
I would
before.
not trust those cantilevers on any gravel descent.
I say you're going to go.
Let alone it being wet, like unpaved. But it still worked.
So, finding carbon at a lower price point probably means that they're going to cut some corners on the component groups to get that price down.
So I have nothing to add about these bikes
Mhm.
because usually I don't know any of them, but we did go out with a friend. It was one of her first bike rides, and we were going over the topic of underwear with bibs or no underwear with bibs.
You definitely do
This
not
is
wear
not part of frame material.
underwear with bibs.
Well,
It causes chafing.
that was the question at hand, and I provided my input, but if any other ladies out there wear underoos with their little bike shorts, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay, you guys go. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'll let Brian do all this because I did this at work every day. So I'll let him start with a fresh mentality.
So, obviously I think looking at that level of bike, you're going to be focused on steel or aluminum.
Yeah. But carbon.
I've got a carbon in the mix, but you'll see what it does. So you disagree, agree with that? I mean,
oh yeah.
yeah. So the next step is to look at how you want to prioritize components, not what the specific component group is, but how you want to prioritize those things as you move from top to bottom. Yeah.
I think after a little bit of research, either like the steel people want steel. I don't know many people that come in and like it's gonna be aluminum. I don't know how to say. I don't know what I'm saying, but I know what I'm saying. Like steel is very like that crowd is very driven to steel because that's what they want.
Because steel is sort of
steel is real. No, steel is very.
No, I hear you.
Steel's a little more compliant. It's got a different feel to it. They went away from steel years ago because steel is very heavy. And aluminum became very lightweight, but aluminum transmits every vibration you can known to man, or steel absorbs it. But steel has an old thing with it. But there's new steel, and I think the new steel stuff rides amazing. I mean, I was on steel forever again until I went back to both carbon, but
yeah.
I feel like that customer like wants that steel bike because they want the steel bike.
So if they're coming in there and their mindset is steel, then they know steel is.
And that's why we have
after.
steel options at the store. I very rarely see it where like I don't know. I'm just putting that out there in the beginning.
No, that's okay.
Because aluminum's a little bit cheaper. Like steel's actually I think a little bit more expensive, nicer steel now. So you get and like Specialized isn't doing steel anymore, and Trek has their what's that touring bike that everyone raves about. Their steel touring 52. I don't know Trek. I don't understand Trek as a company, but I don't get them. But that's why we carry Jameis, and Otzo's slowly coming in the mix, and so we carry the other QBP brands like Surly and All City.
Yeah.
To give people options, but aluminum is going to be 90% of everyone's.
And that's the big list is the list that I've got. The majority of them are aluminum.
Yeah, I made you put a steel one on there.
No, I actually have two steel ones on there.
Oh, Well, that's a steal.
You had me add one, but I think I already had another one on there. So, but I guess as we're talking about like prioritizing the things and the parts of the bike, a top tier frame with low end components is probably not even going to perform as well as a mid tier frame with mid tier components.
I want to know how this compares to the one we did like a year and a half ago of this.
You remember we did it specific bikes. We didn't really start talking about.
No, I just want to see like what's changed. Like,
oh, okay, yeah. But it's been a couple of years.
It's
since
been a
we've done
while.
this.
We were in the shop doing that one.
Sometimes group sets can be tricky to upgrade, so you may want to think about that as something, if that's important to you. That's probably the first component thing to prioritize after you think about the frame. Wheels are expensive, but they're easy to upgrade. You can swap a wheel out
If they're available.
Yeah, well, everything right now.
That was our biggest thing with
COVID.
Jess's bike.
But then you see where I'm going. Things like saddles, seat post stems, handlebars, lower in cost, easier to upgrade. So, if you're thinking about prioritizing your needs and your wants, you're starting with the frame, then you're thinking about the group set, then you're looking at wheels. Don't look at a bike because it has this type of wheel and compromise on the group set. I guess this is what I'm trying to do, is get you to think about ranking things in order of where you would begin to compromise. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then specific component groups and different things that come with specific component groups. The braking system, the disc brakes, obviously you're going disc brakes today. I don't even think, do you think I'm sure they're out there.
There's some, but not even some of these lower end companies are doing them.
The decision you have to make is hydraulic versus mechanical versus even that combo hydromech, which I think one of the bikes on the list actually has that.
Kona.
So that's something to think about. Tubeless compatibility at a minimum, and if the bike can be all
I think
set
that's
up
just
tubeless.
marketing jargon.
Tubeless?
I mean, everything is basically tubeless ready.
Well,
You're
yes
not buying
and
a
no.
gravel bike in 2022 where you can't tape the rim and throw some valve cores in and buy some tires.
Yeah, but for your consumer, that's like if it's already ready.
Nothing's already ready, though. That's where everyone needs to know that.
Those GRX wheels I bought were certainly ready.
No. When people think tubeless ready as a customer coming in, they assume there's no tubes in the tire. I don't know any bikes that ship with
okay. I see what you're
tubeless,
saying.
like
okay,
100% tubeless ready.
Well, it's all the other big thing is that the tires themselves have to be tubeless capable.
Yeah.
So that is sort of a rabbit hole, and there's lots of different. You probably want to educate yourself on what the specific bike means when it tells you it's tubeless compatible. Yeah. It could be compatible. Again, everything's compatible, like you said.
Half the time, that means it comes with tape and valve cores are in the box.
Okay.
But it's a start.
Yeah.
Like I said, but doesn't mean you can't. If it doesn't come with valve cores, you can't buy a set of whiskey or orange steel valves and tape it up.
So the other thing now, when we get down to specific components, is 1x versus 2x. A 1x drivetrain obviously uses a single chain ring with a wide range mountain bike style cassette to simplify the drivetrain and save weight, whereby a 2x chain set offers 2 chain rings up front, twice as many gears. However, the spread of the gears is usually pretty similar. So 1x versus 2x.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it comes down to almost, I think, it's a personal preference thing. Do you think there's anything from a riding perspective?
Did I tell you the Kona's 1x now? Just for fun?
Your Kona Libre?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think I knew that.
Well,
Anyway, 1x versus 2x.
I don't know. I tried 1x a little bit, didn't like it.
What was
I
it
like the
about
2x, and then
wait a minute. Let's back up a minute. What would you not
I like
like?
the fine tuning I could do with 2x.
Okay, so that's what you.
It's a little more dramatic of a jump with 1x, but I don't know. I've probably said this 40 different times back and forth on this podcast, but like I said, I just started riding my Kona 1x. Now, if I were to do like unpaved again, I think because my front derailleur and stuff kept jamming up, of an event like that, because I don't care about my super top end gearing, and I want low end, I'll just gear it down for that.
Gear it down into a 1x.
Simple, something that could be sloppy or gross. The 1x on gravel makes sense. Less moving parts.
So
I had to squirt my front derailleur this year to make it work on the rail trail.
On a 1x, Can you swap out the front chain ring to change the overall gear length?
That's what I'm doing on Jess's bike.
Okay. So you
on
could
her new
like,
bike, I'm going to get a couple chain rings.
You like Croatan. Obviously, it's flat.
Yeah, you could run that big ring bigger. You could get a tighter cluster so you have better in between gears.
Okay.
You could run a 50 up front with like 1128 in the back and be okay. I think.
Probably.
You don't need a 40 with a 1144 or 1044 for that. But you have it. But you can just really fine tune it with the 1x.
Okay.
So yeah,
But,
changing chain rings if you're mechanically savvy, it isn't hard to do at all. I mean, Tom King just did it, so anyone could do it. He doesn't listen anymore. Maybe he'll listen. I'll find out.
I'll tell him. He's listening.
Tell him to listen at 30 minutes in. Yeah.
Okay, so another decision point is 650B versus 700C wheels. The advantages and disadvantages of two different wheel sizes has been long debated.
Oh, check out Brian's YouTube.
And it's going to be continued to be discussed for a long time. But I think the bottom line is if you're looking for both on-road and off-road versatility, a lower weight and a better obstacle rollover, your 700C wheels. If you've got rougher terrain, you want increased tire size and the volume, the 650B wheels offer a significant advantage in both grip and comfort. But the key point you're going to want to look at is A, what does the bike come equipped with out of the box so you know what you're getting stock? And can that bike have the ability to run 650B and 700C wheel sets? That's sort of the thing you really need to pay attention to. Now, is it safe to assume, Joey, if you've got a bike that's running 700C wheels, that you could actually pull it backwards to 650Bs? Or is that not a good blanket statement?
I would check with the actual manufacturer, like what they spec it out, because I've known from the past, there are bikes that, you design a bike around one wheel size. There's some bikes there's crossover that work with both, and they're okay with both. Mm-hmm. And there's other ones that they're meant to be ridden with 650. The whole design of it is that. So it varies.
Okay.
Doesn't mean if it says you're supposed to, it's designed around 700, you can still run the 650s. It's not the end of the world, but the bike might handle different than what they designed it for. And then you go off and tell everyone it's the worst riding bike. Well, you weren't riding how it's supposed to be ridden.
Right.
So,
I just from flipping the tuning chip on my work, and I can tell you,
is that bike cross wheel compatible?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rodeo Lab, a lot of the small, I feel like a lot of the small frame builders or companies, they design them for both. Some of them only design it for one. I don't know. It's very mixed. Just read the fine print. Don't change it and get upset of how it feels because it's not supposed to be ridden that way. And
you may, before you invest, say it comes with 700s, and before you invest in 650s, you may want to, like you said, read the fine print, do the homework, but then also talk to other people, go out on, the interwebs and find some people that have tried it, because if it doesn't work, I can guarantee you somebody out there's tried it.
like Specialized, you won't see a Diverge with 650s at all. My Libre came with 650s as that model. The next model up came with 700s and vice. It's one of those cross-compatible frames. Which the 650s are very nice for what you said 650s are, but I like the 700s a lot too for what I normally ride.
Yeah, I and not to rehash old stuff, but in Unpaved, I rode those 650s because it gave me the ability on that Diverge to run the 47s, which gave me a lot of confidence on my descending. But I will say those 650s, I really felt sluggish on the climbs and sluggish on the flats too. I felt slow.
Oh, we were all slow that day.
I felt outside of where I thought I should be.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I felt like that tire size was holding me back a little bit. But I made up for it on the descending because I was much more confident and much more sure of foot, so to speak.
He's much more gooder.
Yeah, much more gooder.
Good R. All right, let's roll through these bikes. Okay, I think we're a half hour in.
Starting off, the Felt Breed 30 gravel bike. It's an aluminum frame. I've got the links in the show notes.
This one it cannot clink, but I will copy paste it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
It is an aluminum frame. It is capable of 650 or 700 wheels, but it comes stock with 650B wheels. It uses a GRX 812 11-speed 1x setup out of the box. The brakes are hydraulic. The fork is carbon. and it comes in just under $2,000 at $1,999. Were you able to pull it up?
Yes, this is a 2020 bike.
Oh, is it?
It says email me or set up for notifications. Their felt's really behind. Holy cow.
Oh, well, I probably pulled a bad link.
No, that's just felt.
But I anything jump out to you on that bike?
No, it's actually a beautiful looking bike.
Yeah.
We used to sell felt at Parvella when I was there.
Yeah, my first road bike was a felt.
Yeah, that fell apart.
Well, it lasted a long doggone time. I think I had 20,000 miles on that bike before it finally gave the.
This is a beautiful looking bike. It's very clean. Don't know how it rides, but it's built really well.
Yep.
The felt. I think you get a lot of bike with felt too.
Yeah,
they're like a second tier company. Like quality's not second tier. They're a little more nichey in some aspects. They're not specialized or track. But they do almost everything.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good price point. What can you check out the brakes on that? Which I know they're hydraulic, but I don't know what
GRX.
GRX. Okay,
probably 400 calipers. That's what everything is.
I think that is a solid performer at under $2,000. So, second bike on the list, the Giant Revolt.
Oh, I worked on one of these last week.
Advanced 3 gravel bike.
Also a very nice bike.
Now, Giant
very good looking in person.
Calls their frames composite. They won't commit to carbon. It is carbon. It's a carbon composite. I think it's the way that they laid their carbon up.
It's plastic,
if I understand it correctly. But here's where we see some differences.
Oh yeah, this is one of those trade-off bikes.
This is a trade-off bike. So your wheels are going to be Giant. You know, they're
huge.
They're house brand. The components are Shimano Tiagra, which actually I think is not a bad group. It's a 2x.
No. The only thing with the Tiagra is it's not cross-compatible with any other 10x stuff, so you can't just throw on like an older Ultegra trailer.
So
it has a different pull ratio. That's Tiagra only. But it's cool.
And the brakes are the Giant House hydraulic, a carbon fork. And it utilizes this proprietary, what Giant calls defuse.
No. This is the ugliest thing in the bike industry. I didn't know it was this one. No, this thing's horrible. Throw this thing out. This is ridiculous.
I don't know about this defuse thing where the bars and the seat post. The seat post supposedly has 12 degrees of flex.
No, I thought you were talking about that.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
They're mechanical to hydraulic converter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing is gaudy.
Yeah.
Like that thing is horrible.
So price point on that one, $1,850. But I think what you're seeing is this is the only carbon bike that's in the mix.
You get the frame, not the components.
But yeah, exactly. This is one of those things where, you may want to think twice about it.
This is also a 2020.
Is it?
Did you do this list like 3 years ago?
I did this list last year.
Oh, okay.
No. I think a lot of the things maybe I just pulled old bikes. I don't know. Specialized Diverge Elite E5. This is an aluminum frame, Axis Elite wheel set. It's a GRX RX 400. It's a 10-speed. It's a 2x. Hydraulic brakes with a carbon fork, price point $2,000 if you could find them. Are they even out there available? Is this an available bike, Joey?
I think we actually have a batch coming this week.
Really?
But it's hard to find.
Okay.
This is a beautiful bike.
It's a solid performer at that price point.
It's like the felt. It's a very similar group minus the 1x versus 2x to the felt, where you get like the GRX, even if it's the 400, is really solid compared to the Tiagra. Tiagra's not bad.
However, is gravel specific.
Yeah,
Gravel
ergonomics
specific.
are a little different, but it's also hydraulic, not the makeshift hydraulic.
Next bike in the list, Salsa Journeyman. This is your steel frame, Joey. One of 2 steel frames I have.
This is how I know this is from 2 years ago because it's not called that anymore.
I pulled that right off of their website.
A year ago,
I pulled that right off of their website.
They changed the name of it.
What is it now?
I'm like one of the new fact checkers.
Well, yeah, you are, because I don't even know. I pulled this right off their website earlier today.
It's now called the Journeyer.
The Journeyer?
The Journeyer now is based off of the Journeyman.
How did I find this link on their website?
Are you on the real salsa site or is this the fake salsa?
That's right.
Didn't they just have this thing? So the new Journeyer.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, it's not even.
That's not the right wheel set either.
Yeah. So they actually updated the Journeyman with the Journeyer. It's a through axle bike. I think it's a carbon fork. It's
still steel.
I think it's a carbon fork.
But I mean, the frame is steel.
The frame was never
Yeah.
steel. The frame was always aluminum.
On the Journeyman?
Yes.
How did I screw this up so
I don't
bad?
know, Ryan. We don't listen to our podcast anymore. We're selling false information.
I might just cut this whole thing out.
No, you're good. It's even better. It's called the Journeyer.
Okay.
It's a new bike coming out.
Okay.
It is updated. Maybe it's not out to the public, but they changed the name like a year ago to be more. They updated it a little more PC.
Oh, because they
other
didn't
stuff.
want to have Journeyman.
They also fixed a lot of stuff with it. Like it was when it came out, it was cool, but it was quick release, and everything else we're selling was through axle.
So I'm telling you, I just looked at this on their website.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's. Salsa has no bikes anyway, so don't go looking for a
Okay.
Salsa.
All right. Let's hope I got this one right. The Checkpoint by Trek.
Also, a very very nice bike, I would say.
Aluminum, Bontrager wheels, GRX. It's a mix of 810 and 600, 11-speed 2x, hydraulic RX 400, Shimano RX 400, carbon fork. Trek has this blender bar system. Have you seen that? It's some sort of bar. It's some sort of a component that's built into the headset that allows you to like add accessories like Garmin mounts and camera mounts and all this kind of stuff directly into the stem post or something.
It's very clean. It's kind of another version like what Specialized has with their future stems.
So does it have compliance built into it, or is it just...
No, it's basically a system, like you said, to put a GoPro or a Garmin or something like that.
Okay.
It's very clean, though.
Yeah.
Keeps stuff off your handlebars, which I like. It's a beautiful bike. I really like this one.
And it does have sliding dropouts
It does.
that goes from either single speed to geared. I don't think it's a sliding dropout like my Warrican that allows it to go in different... I don't know. I couldn't...
Well,
find
what
much
that
about
does for a single speed delay, it sends a new chain.
Okay. Price point on the Checkpoint at this level, the ALR5 is $21.99.
Also a very, very good deal. It's a beautiful bike. Minus the 4 letters on it. It's pretty good.
Cannondale Topstone 3.
Oh, now we're talking.
This is an aluminum bike. WTB Riddler 737s. Shimano Sora 9-speed 2x. Pro Max mechanical brakes, a carbon fork, coming in at $1,500.
Cannondale is my go-to if I ever lose Specialized as far as like leaving the bike industry.
Mhm.
But this bike is pretty heavy for what it is. Having one in person,
Yeah.
these things are pretty beefy. They're beautiful, and I love them. But the entry-level aluminum Topstones are really heavy.
What about Sora as a group set?
I would say Sora is actually... Like the bikes you're getting with Sora, I think are priced really well because it's a solid. I think Sora is a really solid group to let you get into the sport, and it's not ridiculously expensive. And
you upgrade it,
and then you upgrade it after you wear it out. I don't like Claris at all. The Claris stuff sucks. Claris feels like a toy. The Sora feels a little better, but like I said, it's a good get you into the door without spending the money.
Unlike
a lot of money,
Tiagra that you can't.
I'd rather get the Sora bike than the Tiagra bike.
And so you can because it's upgradable.
It's gonna be a little bit
easier
less,
to
and then
upgrade.
you could put that, in a 6 months or a year, you could buy your GRX
Okay.
or your rival Axis isn't expensive anymore, or never was. So, it's a good platform group set.
So priced at $1,500, that sounds like
it's a nice
solid performer.
The crank on that thing sucks. I've had a lot of issues with those, but hey,
Bottom
it
bracket
gets
or
you rolling.
crank set? Bottom bracket or crank
It's
set?
a combo because of the crank.
Okay.
Mostly the chain rings, but hey, it works. Like I said, that bike's I would say that is one of the best get you into the door type of bikes. Like there's a Diverge at that level. There's I don't know about the Trek. There's the Jamis. There's the Diverge. This Topstone. Yeah, that type of bike with that group set's perfect.
Got it.
Yeah.
Next one on the list: Canyon Grail 7. Aluminum frame, DT Swiss gravel wheels, GRX 810. Brakes are GRX.
GRX 810.
I don't know. I'm pulling specs off.
Wow.
2x carbon fork, priced at $21.99.
You always get more out of the Canyons because the consumer direct business plan.
Have you had the opportunity to work on any of those?
Oh yeah, I've done a lot of Canyons.
Really?
I was one of the few that got to build a lot of the canyons before canyons were allowed in the country because I had customers who would wait 8 to 10 weeks just to buy a frame overseas and have some of their military friends ship it back.
Wow.
And then everyone would get jealous because they had canyons, and then they blew up here.
What's your thoughts on this bike at $2,200?
Oh, it's a pretty solid bike.
Yeah.
I just rebuilt one of these for a guy, JQ did on Paved. I think he had, I forgot what group set he had, but we put Force Axis with Explorer on there, but it's a pretty solid bike.
This bike at this level, I'm feeling like you could, the components you should be able to upgrade.
They're already up. They're already like GRX 810 is as high as you go.
Okay.
For mechanical.
Right. Before you step into Di2 land.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I said you always, because of the consumer direct business model, you always get a little bit more with Canyon.
But I'm also thinking if you wanted to go sideways, say you wanted to go SRAM.
Oh, yeah. But no one wants to do that.
Yeah, all these things
unless it's electric.
Okay.
Mechanical, I don't think you're going to get better than Shimano, but electric, I want to go with SRAM.
Gotcha. Kona Libre, next bike on the list.
Oh, yeah.
One you know well. But now there's different levels of the Libre.
Well, there's different levels of all the ones we talked about.
And the base Libre, aluminum frame, WTB wheels, 700 comes standard 45. It's a SRAM Apex 1x11 speed. Now, this braking, is that the mechanical hydraulic combo thing?
Yeah, I would much rather do that than that giant POS system.
Yeah. Carbon fork priced at $2,099.
Yep.
What's your thoughts here? I mean, obviously you ride
you
one.
get a lot of bike. I think the way this bike's designed, it's a really nice ride quality.
Solid performer.
It's quick, but it's also an all-day type of bike. It's comfortable. I could do a group ride on it and be okay. You can put wheels, and I think it's very versatile and fits a lot of people well.
Gotcha.
So you get a lot of bike for that one. Sorry, with the
that's okay.
Yeah, it's decent. I think it's a little bit expensive compared to. I didn't mean to say you get a lot of bike for it because I think it's a little expensive for what it is. But
Okay. Jameis Renegade S4, last bike on the list.
Yes.
Steel bike.
Yes.
WTB wheel set. Components is Sora 9-speed. Tektro Lyra mechanical cable actuated disc brakes.
Yep.
Carbon fork $1,399. Thoughts on this guy?
I had you put that one on there because I like it a lot.
Yeah.
That's one of the bikes because there's different types of steel. Oh, this is a Jameis. Oh, this is the super duper Renegade. No, it's the same thing with that group set. You get a really nice frame with this one, and it's got clearance for days. And it's that one that maybe you're going to cross over and do a little bike packing, and you have all the little bits to put stuff everywhere. The ride quality is really nice. It reminds me a lot of Sequoia.
Does that fork actually have mounting?
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
You can do a lot with this bike, and it's not ridiculous to start out with.
So it's very versatile.
Yeah, we do a good chunk of these. I think these are going to be my rental bike.
And then, as you mentioned earlier, the Sora, unlike the Tiagra, you can actually... Now, say I wanted to take this bike and go to a 10-speed or 11-speed. So I wanted to take it from 9-speed. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, why? What would limit you?
I don't know. I'm asking
nothing's going to limit you on this one. You could
Okay.
put SRAM Red Axis on here if you wanted.
Okay. So nothing's going to... There's no limiting factor.
There's no limiting
here.
at all.
Okay.
Because it's through axle. Everything's up to date with specs. It's a threaded bottom bracket, which is really nice. It's just nice. It's very nice. Jameis is a female-owned company, too.
Really?
It's
I didn't know
nice.
that.
It's a small brand.
So of all of these that we've got here on the list, which one do you think is say you had to pick from this list?
Oh boy,
Where
now you're
you
putting
at?
me on the spot.
Where you at? I know you've.
Ooh, this is tough. I'd probably honestly go with the Felt or the Diverge.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
You don't want to go back to 2019 and go for the Journeyman?
No, I had one of those. Because the reason I like this Diverge a lot, it's a non-Future Shock Diverge, which is I rode my Redshift for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
This is like the prime, like we're stocking Redshift stuff, or we're slowly getting more in. Because this type of bike, you don't need to get to Future Shock. The frame is solid. This is just like the same frame as your green one.
Yeah.
But a little bit, This is the newer version, so even more. This has the clearance, unlike yours.
Yeah, that was always my biggest problem. My Diverge frame was the inability to
the felt or the Diverge, or the Jameis, because I like the steel one
and the price point.
Those three, because I feel like I could get the Jameis, and they actually make a Jameis S3, and it's $18.99, right? With the GRX 400.
Yes, yeah, you can step up.
So you can still stay under $2,000 and have multiple Jameis options.
Yeah,
but like I said, price point that Jameis is really good. That $13.99, but those would be my three.
I think I'm going to agree with you. I'm glad you actually asked me to add the Renegade to the list, because actually I've been looking at it and hearing your input on where Sora is, because we said start with the frame, and then start to think about the component group, and then kind of work your way backwards from there. And these mechanical brakes, that's not something that would worry you.
Say that again?
So the mechanical brakes, I know everything that we looked at on the list, I think has either been hydraulic or a combination of hydraulic, mechanical.
No, I am what we refer to as a Clydesdale. I need hydraulic to slow down.
Okay, so this is mechanical.
So for me personally, but Emma has the Jameis with mechanical or something. Like she's a different body style than me and weight, so she doesn't need the highest powered hydraulic brakes necessarily in different aspects. So
I've never thought about it that way.
I tell people too,
stopping power required,
and you gotta be polite about it. But depending on your body size, there is, and if you're bike packing too.
Okay.
So say you're loading up with 50 pounds of gear, and you have mechanicals that some mechanicals don't have the greatest stopping power, and when you add that weight, maybe you should think about hydraulic from the get go.
Okay.
So
I never really thought about that piece of it, the stopping power required based upon who's riding the bike. So interesting. Okay, cool. Jess, do you have anything to add to this?
Well, hello. And was I still here?
She's got the shifty bits. Yeah. Jess's was one of those bikes where now not everyone needs to spend $6,000 on a bike, but I can't buy the group set. The wheels are hard to get. All the other stuff so that bike was very thought out for us to get everything we wanted and then some. Yeah. But it's.
Well, I know we had this conversation. It was way back when Wes was around.
Who?
And who? I can't remember. And it'd been a while since we really kind of talked this through, and I know things had changed. So I thought it was a good, fun time to sort of revisit that. And I know that
the Journeyman changed completely
when we did. I don't know.
It was funny listening to both you and Brian talk, and I'm like,
She's hitting the polar hard tonight.
You guys want to do this or that? This or that, please?
No, I'm okay.
And thank you. You don't have no choice. First, this or that this week. Jess, this one's specifically for you so you can share some news with us. Gooder or Tifosi?
I actually really like Goodar, and I'm going to pull behind me because they supported the St. Jude Marathon. So when we checked into our hotel, they gave us a Goodar that had like St. Jude logos on them. And I also reached out to them when the bike shop burnt down, and they sent me like 7 or 8 pairs of glasses. So Goodar has been a really good brand to collaborate with.
I can't read the screen now.
And I'm very glad
That's
that
a
I get
sharp-looking pair of glasses
announce
right
my
there.
2020 ambassadorship with them.
2022.
2022. Sorry, I was behind 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, St. Jude on it. So what does that mean for you with them? They're just supporting you?
Yeah, it's just there's like really big ambassadorships I got, like Brooks, when they would send you like
shoes,
8 new pairs of shoes and like 5 new outfits like every other month. Like that's a huge one.
Yeah.
All these other ones, I just really, most of the time I don't even need their discounts. Most of the time I just like repping their stuff and to be
stuff
part
you
of the
use
community.
anyway.
And the stuff I use anyway. Yeah. So why not be a part of the Goodar team?
Good. I know that Joey sells Tifosi. Every pair of Tifosi glasses I've ever had has broken. And I conned Marcus into giving me a pair of Goodars.
Well, Brian is no longer the brand ambassador for Production Event Center. So now that that's over.
But I will say I don't think I've ever ridden with the Goodars. Do they do? They don't do prescription, do they?
They don't. No, they're actually like $20, and they don't even give ambassadors a discount because it's like
they're so cheap.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're glasses that you're okay to to drop off of a kayak.
They actually don't bounce. I saw it on their website today.
Yeah, they've got like
no
some
slip,
sort
no
of
bounce, all polarized, all fun.
They actually feel good on my. I just can't see,
yeah.
but they feel good.
My mom, because I am part of them, or because I did like them so much, I shipped my mom a pair for Christmas. And she wears them when she plays pickleball, and she wears them when she golfs. But she's also with Joey. She has whatchamacallit?
Needs glasses.
Needs glasses, yeah. So.
Joey?
I need prescriptions, and I can't wear either of these. I've been wearing Tifosi for probably 12, 15 years now. Mix for like riding stuff. But I've been on my 100% since last year, and those are way better. So yeah. My wife is a good R person, and I sell Tifosi, so I don't know where to go. So I'll go with my wife and say good R.
I'm also really hard on things. Like, I'm not really good about...
Shatters
like,
a MacBook.
Shatters MacBooks. You know, I'm really hard on things, so...
And glasses are one of those... So I like the fact that they're affordably priced. They're super cheap. They're quality, and I like that whole non-slip like thing. They stick to your face.
And people used to have them running, and I was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. Why would you have all these glasses? And now that's me.
Yeah.
Like
now
12
that's
boxes.
me with riding, because when I run, I don't need them so much. But when I'm riding, I'm always afraid of sediments getting in my eyes.
Right.
So they actually make clear glasses, and I'm really excited to order myself a pair because I don't need the sun thing all the time. But
right. Sometimes it's raining, and you just need to protect your eyes. Second item, prescription lenses are riding blind.
I'm going to go prescription there.
I probably need oh, is it my turn? I'm sorry. Usually I go first, but Joey just mucked it all up. So, no, I'm just kidding, Joey. When I start yelling in class and my kids make that noise, I'm like shooting them a look. Like, what are
like
you?
The look you just gave me.
I just gave you. Yeah. So, I don't need prescriptions yet. Knock on wood. So.
Well, I do, and I just ride blind.
I do. Really?
I do. I ride when I'm here at home and I know the roads and where I'm going, and I'm by myself. I'm very comfortable just going without my prescription lenses because I'm not blind. I can see. In fact, the only time I ever really wear my glasses is when I'm driving, which means I should probably wear them when I'm riding my bike. But like when I go somewhere else that I'm not familiar, I have to wear my glasses so that I can see.
It's funny because until I got my new prescription, I'd ride half blind. There'd be times where I didn't know if there's this place on multiple roads there. I didn't know if it's a mailbox or Richard Irvine because of his socks.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
I said that. I'm like,
it honestly took me a second to realize what he just said. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, is that Richard up there? But no, the last few rides now I got new prescriptions. I have some nice 100% glasses, a couple pair, and I need contacts just for riding.
You know, that's what I used to do. That's what I used to do.
So I just need to go get them. I don't know how much they cost. So that might dictate that, but
they're super cheap now. Contact lenses.
I'm just afraid of poking my eye.
I used to wear contacts all the time, but I hated wearing them.
I just want them for fishing, and because I don't want to get prescription Costas and I don't want to get prescription 100%. So contacts.
I actually think it's really gross how like people like put contacts in and like, touch their eyes. Like I think that's really gross.
Once
like,
you've done it,
I know. But my dad, I just remember like my dad doing it as a kid on like really formal dates when he like wouldn't wear his glasses, and I was like, oh my God, that's so gross. You know.
So for me, it's like if I put prescriptions in or my contact lenses in, then I have to wear reading glasses. So it's kind of like this.
Oh, because you're at that age.
Yeah, I'm at that age. So
don't worry, I'll be there.
It's like the change.
I'm not making fun of you.
Like
I'll be there soon.
No, like the change.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Age.
Third item on this week's This or That, Chris or Emma?
Oh, this is really
They're not
a question.
Here. Yeah, it's a real question.
Nobody knows who Chris nor
That doesn't
Emma
matter.
is.
It doesn't matter. I don't think if we're going to pick between the two of them, I'm not sure we want people to know who they are.
Well, these are wild This or That's. I just read them all.
I'm going Emma. She's so sweet.
Okay. I just really kind of formally met Emma just a few days ago. So, and I'll be telling. I was telling Joey earlier, Chris Curley, he's a performer in the bike shop. I sit in there enough and I listen to him, and you know he's pretty good at his little salesmanship, but he's just a an honest, down-to-earth kind of guy. And I didn't know he was so smart. I talked to him the other
Chris
day.
is a wizard.
And he was telling me about all these like mapping things that he used to
Chris
do.
used to work for the
cartography.
topography.
Yeah, it's kind of really cool. It's an interesting story. Yes, he's mapped fires or something like that.
Chris used to study plotting forest fires for the Forest Service.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Then he realized working in a cubicle forever sucked.
So, but I do like girls better than boys, so I'm also going to go with Emma.
Well, because you're creepy bride. I'm not going to answer that because I like them both equally.
Oh no! Okay,
I
well,
love
that's
Chris,
your
and
choice.
Emma's so nice.
You can
and
opt
fun to hang
out.
around.
You can. Are you going to go with the combo, like a meal, combo meal at McDonald's? You're going to
So
go
Chris is that in between Wes and Joey. If you put all three of us together, like when me and Wes were in the store together, people either thought we were brothers or we were each other. And it's the same thing with me and Chris.
Yeah.
There was we were riding together, and there were some times I was like, "Hey, honey," and it was definitely not Joey beside me. It was definitely Chris beside me.
That's what I'm saying. I want to take Chris to an event like he's wet, like just to
just say he's wet.
Just better looking.
Okay, last item on this week's This or That: new kitchen or old kitchen?
Geez.
Oh Lord, I honestly I am so over the kitchen. Like I don't.
It gets to be
Once this is done,
It'll look really nice. I know it's going to look really nice, but the green thing when we first moved in was like, oh my God, I hate this. I never want this green thing in there ever again. But now it's like, oh, I have a green kitchen. Like, who the hell cares? Like, I said, we're never inviting people over, and we have you over every week. We have Chris and Emma over all the time. Like, it doesn't really
Wes
matter.
lived here for a while.
Wes
lived here.
Yeah. Once the new kitchen thing is over,
once you get through it, that's right. Because we're doing the bathroom thing now, and it's such a hassle. Not having a bathroom on the floor of the house that you basically live on, always having to go down.
I almost don't make
basement.
it to the one in my bedroom.
I know.
Joey redid our bathroom upstairs.
Yeah, so it's I feel your pain and what you're getting ready to go through, but you're hopeful to do a quick flip, right?
They said, we wouldn't not have countertops at one point, like. It's a couple weeks, but our kitchen's usable, and I have the smoker, and I have like the table outside and the kitchen thing outside.
And we have Joey's parents right down the road. So
but if you think about
it, we got Ready Duck right down the road.
Yeah, I could honestly do takeout every day and be totally fine with my life.
A little hot dog place across the road there.
No, I have my outside counter I built, and I have the Traeger, and I got the table out there, and it's warming up. And
well, then I
want to go to Brian's house.
I'm gonna go with new kitchen because I'm excited for
financially. I'm going to go with old kitchen.
Okay.
True.
All right, well, that was silly, but you guys got anything else before we shut this thing down? Anything else? Anything else at all?
I feel like there was something major. Oh, Jessica's getting a new bike.
Yes, I am getting a new bike.
Are you getting a new bike?
I am getting a new bike. I get to ride it at Croatan, and I get to ride it at Cat Camp, so that's really exciting.
One thing that's too bad is that you won't have your new GTD Cutaway jersey.
Oh Lord!
From Cutaway USA, that's the only thing you won't have, and we won't have those for Croatan, but that's okay. That's fine. But you'll have your new bike, and that'll be awesome.
I will have my new bike.
Awesome. Anything else?
So I think that's it. But major shout outs to Kelly Catelli. That was an awesome episode. I re-listened to it. What a great episode! I loved hearing it. I loved it in the moment. She's so articulate and so eloquent with her words, and what a great person to have in our corner. So
I want to follow up with Kelly because I know that one of the events that she has on her schedule is in Poland this year, and with everything that's going on in Europe right now, I don't think that's going to be resolved anytime soon. I'm wondering how that's going to play into her plans, being right there on the edge of war, so to speak.
Well, then she could come hang out with me and go mountain bike riding.
There you go.
Because
that's probably a better alternative.
Because at Cat Camp, they could
Poland
teach me how to
jazz.
Exactly,
jazz.
right?
I mean, what are you going to do? I know what I'd do. Poland. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode. I'm going to start over. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you enjoyed the podcast, maybe consider joining our Patreon family or just dropping us a decent review or subscribing.
Doesn't have to be decent. If you didn't like it.
If you didn't like it. And if you think it's messed up that Brian couldn't find the right journeyer, then okay, leave us a bad review, but I apologize for that. I don't know where that came from, but I swear I went to Salsa's website and that journeyman is on there. It's there. I'm telling you. I'm going to go look.
Because this is our podcast and we can do whatever we want.
That's right.
I'm going to say that I may not win Teacher of the Year, but I'm really nailing my teacher looks at Brian tonight across the table.
That's true.
Like, I am nailing them. Like, I am nailing them. So if I don't get a new car, I know that my teacher looks that they taught me all through teacher college for all of those 8 years, I've nailed the teacher look.
So if you win, when you win, and you get the car, you going to park the Subaru? What are you doing?
We're gonna rally it.
I'm going to ask my husband to drive it to St. Jude and donate it to the kids in Memphis that need
No,
another
you
car.
know they only give you that
get
car
it
for a year. They don't
Well,
give
you
you.
better hurry it up, Joey.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Joey, how can folks get in touch with us?
Well, you could call me at the store, but I'm busy as heck. GravelTravelDirt.com and our Instagram, which I'm back on, is at Mid-Atlantic GTD.
Yeah, is that working out okay?
It is.
Got you
Also,
back
hat
on?
update. John finally got shipping on the patches, so the hats are there. Patches will be there this week, and then they'll be here soon.
Excellent. Thanks for riding along, everybody. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.